What's up, guys, and welcome into another edition of the Rally Time podcast. I'm your host, as always, Justin Babin Jr. Christian is in the producer's chair once again, my partner in crime throughout all baseball season, as always. And we have one of our biggest shows of the year so far, I would like to think, Christian, as we will be spending this show previewing a top 10 matchup in the box this weekend. One that, at the beginning of the season, LSU fans, at least I did, circle this matchup on the schedule against the defending national champions, the Tennessee Volunteers, who are ranked number 6 in the country according to D1 Baseball. It's a big one this weekend. We've seen, over the past few years with Tony Vitello, kind of a rivalry a little bit, I would say, between us and Tennessee. We've seen some really good matchups for LSU baseball against Tennessee. We saw it twice in Omaha during the national championship season in 2023, and this is a big matchup. It's a matchup I am really excited for, really pumped to see the box packed out for all 3 games this weekend. I would say it's the biggest series of the year so far for LSU. Top 10 matchup, and it's a really big one. It's one we've been really excited to bring this show to you guys for a long time. Really excited to preview this Tennessee team. Before we get into the preview of this Tennessee team, unfortunately, I did want to mention we're not going to break it down quite, in depth, because we want to spend most of this show breaking down Tennessee, because that's more important. But LSU did lose 13-3 to Northwestern State last night in the box in their midweek game. It was a really ugly game, no doubt about it. It was an ugly game. It wasn't a good game. LSU was leading 2-0 in the 3rd inning going into the top 3rd before an hour-and-a-half rain delay, and then once the 2 teams came back on the field after a rain delay that lasted about an hour-and-a-half, Northwestern State just jumped all over LSU. They scored 6 runs in the 3rd inning, 3 runs in the 6th, 3 in the 7th. LSU was all out of whack coming out of the rain delay, and it was just a really ugly game. I don't know if it was because they were looking ahead to this weekend against Tennessee and the biggest matchup of the season so far, LSU. Yeah, it was an ugly game, and hopefully the Tigers can bounce back and move on from it. You don't like to lose midweek games against lesser teams, you don't. But, it's not like you're throwing Cade Anderson or Ianson or Cowan or Evans or any of those guys out there. It was kind of the back end of the bullpen was featured a lot in this game last night. Yeah, they just struggled. They were inconsistent all game on the mound, and after, a good start from the hitters with Derek Curiel and Josh Pearson having 2 solo bombs in the first couple of innings. Yeah, LSU just couldn't get it going, and it was unfortunate, but we did want to reference that and talk about it, but we're going to move past it, because again, this Tennessee preview is what everybody's here for, and it's what we're here to talk about. So let's get into this Tennessee team, who of course is the defending reigning national champions from last season. This Tennessee team currently, as we said earlier, is number 6 in the D1 Baseball Top 25. They have a 33-7 overall record on the season, and they are 12-6 in the SEC, just like LSU is also 12-6 as well. Both of these teams are tied for 3rd right now currently in the SEC standings, behind only Texas and Arkansas at 1-2 in the SEC standings. So a big top 5 matchup in the SEC standings, really, for the SEC race coming down the stretch to win the SEC regular season crown. This is a really big matchup for both of these teams. Getting into kind of some stats for this Tennessee team, they are 3rd in the SEC with a .305 team batting average, and they are 2nd in the conference with a 3.20 team ERA. That 3.20 team ERA is actually top 5 in the entire country. I believe it's 4th best team ERA in the entire nation. Shockingly, a little bit surprising, they're coming off a bit of a surprising upset, is Tennessee. Last weekend, they lost 2 out of 3 in a home series against Kentucky, which was really surprising. They've lost their past 2 SEC home series against Texas A&M and Kentucky. But this Tennessee team still has all the talent in the world, and they have another dynamite team and a really good team, and it's a really good matchup this weekend. Like, both of these teams could both of these teams could see each other again in Omaha potentially. I mean, they're that good. Two of the top 10 teams in the entire country, two of the top 5 teams in the SEC. But yeah, they're coming off that surprising loss, losing that series to Kentucky at home. Yeah, I mean, let's start with the starting rotation. The most impressive player on this Tennessee team to this point in the season is their ace. Their ace is left-hander Liam Doyle is their ace for Tennessee. And Liam Doyle has been one of the best pitchers in the country, the lefty has been this season. Doyle has a 7-1 record with a 2.48 ERA and 58 innings with 104 strikeouts and 17 walks. I mean, 104 strikeouts is amazing. It's the most strikeouts by an individual pitcher in the country. He leads the nation in strikeouts. Doyle has been on point. I mean, he's just been dynamite this season, and he's been striking. It's like when you add it up, he's had 10 starts and 104 strikeouts, so he's averaging 10 strikeouts per game. I mean, that's pretty dominant, showing what Liam Doyle has done for Tennessee this season. Doyle's best pitch is obviously his fastball. His fastball gets up to 96, 98 miles an hour, so he throws a lot of heat, and he also he features a slider as well, but his best pitch is that high 90s fastball by far. Yeah, I mean, leads the nation in strikeouts last weekend against Kentucky. Last Friday against Kentucky, Doyle pitched 7 innings versus Kentucky and gave up 2 runs in those 7 innings on 4 hits, 1 walk, 2 hit batters, and 9 strikeouts. And then the weekend before last, at Ole Miss, Liam Doyle struck out 14 in 8 innings of work. So, I mean, Liam Doyle has just been, like I said, one of the best arms in the country. I mean, he's just been really dominant, leading the nation in strikeouts, and he's just really, really good pitcher who he's got heat, and he throws gas.
I think the biggest thing that scares me with Liam Doyle is I know the strikeouts are high. I know Anthony Ianson had 12 last week and only went, 5 innings or so. Hearing that the last 2 weekends he's gone 7 innings and 8 innings. Cade goes, about 6, 7 every game?
Yeah.
8 scary, 7 scary. That's what I'm looking for. Is he can strike out as many batters as he wants, but if LSU can put good at-bats together against this guy and really prolong these at-bats and prolong maybe even their strikeouts against him and keep him under 6 innings, I think that's a win. I think if you can keep this guy under 6 innings, limit the damage, maybe even create some damage of your own on some solo home runs and stuff. I think the key with this guy is, let him. I mean, he's going to get his strikeouts for sure because he's got the most in the country, but if you can limit how long he goes, I think that'll be a huge win for LSU this Friday.
I agree. I think the big thing, obviously, it's going to be a huge matchup this Friday, especially on the mound with Cade Anderson versus Liam Doyle. I mean, that's going to be. We'll get into it later. I think Friday's going to be a low-scoring game. Honestly, I think
you'd be stupid not to think so.
2 of the best pitchers in the country, by far. And look, I think. I've said this before about other really good pitchers LSU has faced throughout the season. When I'm watching LSU or when I'm watching any baseball team really going up against an elite starting pitcher, my thing is how early can you drive up the pitch count? Like can you get to where that pitcher has to throw 50 plus pitches, 50 or more pitches within the first 3 innings? Run the pitch count up pretty fast. Don't have any at-bats that are only 2 pitches long or 1 pitch long or anything like that. Don't drive the pitch count up against these high-leverage arms like Liam Doyle. And that's the big thing I would be paying attention to. So that's a really good point, Christian. Moving to the second weekend starter, the Saturday starter, usually for Tennessee, is right-hander Marcus Phillips. Marcus Phillips has a 2-3 record with a 2.96 ERA and 48 2/3 innings with 62 strikeouts and 17 walks. So Phillips has been pretty good as well this season. Really good 1-2 punch with Doyle and Phillips. Phillips can also, similarly to Doyle, Phillips can touch 98 with his fastball as well. So he has really good heat also. And he also has a nice slider to go along with that 98 mile an hour fastball. Last weekend against Kentucky, Phillips pitched 5 innings and gave up 2 runs on 6 hits, 4 walks, and 8 strikeouts. So the combination of 1-2 punch of lefty Liam Doyle and righty Marcus Phillips has been really good, really consistently fared well for the Volunteers this season. So two high leverage arms on the mound this weekend that LSU lineup is going to have to deal with. On the mound for this Tennessee team is right-hander Tegan Coons. So right-hander Tegan Coons has a 2-2 record, 3.42 ERA, in 23 2/3 innings with 24 strikeouts and 10 walks. So obviously Doyle and Phillips are the 1-2 punch for this Tennessee team. You know, Coons hasn't been as good as Phillips and Doyle, but his numbers are still pretty solid. You'll see a fastball between 92 and 95 miles an hour from Tegan Coons, along with a slider and a changeup. And then last week versus Kentucky, Coons pitched 1 2/3 innings and gave up 2 runs on 2 hits, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. So Liam Doyle, lefty Liam Doyle, and righties Marcus Phillips and Tegan Coons is what you're going to see starting on the mound for Tennessee this weekend. And again, it's a pitching staff with a top 5 ERA in the entire nation. So they've been really good this season. You know, speaking of that pitching staff, moving from the starting mound to what it looks like for this team in the bullpen, the best bullpen arm by far for this Tennessee team is Nate Snead. Nate Snead is a right-hander with a 3.37 ERA in 34 2/3 innings with 28 strikeouts and 12 walks. The best thing you'll see from Snead by far is he has a powerful fastball up in the high 90s, and he's even reached triple digits with his fastball at times. I mean, he's touched triple digits at times this season. He also has a really good slider as well. Nate Snead has been a really power arm out of the bullpen, and a really he's the one out of the bullpen you're going to want to pay attention to. Nate Snead, power fastball for sure. Left-hander Dylan Loy has a 2.6 ERA in 17 1/3 innings with 23 strikeouts and 5 walks. Dylan Loy's fastball is in the high 80s along with a slider. Tanner Franklin is a right-hander with a 4.38 ERA in 24 2/3 innings with 37 strikeouts and 5 walks for Tanner Franklin. So that's 37-5 is a really good strikeout to walk ratio. Franklin has a fastball in the mid-90s with a cutter and a slider to go along with that mid-90s fastball. Just two more pitchers out of the bullpen to pay attention to. Lefty Brandon Arvidsson has a 3.86 ERA in 18 2/3 innings with 33 strikeouts and 9 walks. Brandon Arvidsson has been pretty good this season. And then also pay attention to a veteran for this pitching staff for Tennessee. He's been with the team for a couple years now. Pay attention also to right-hander A.J. Russell. A.J. Russell has a mid to upper 90s fastball, and he's been really good in past seasons for Tennessee, but he's coming back off of injury. He pitched 1 inning of work last week against Kentucky, but I believe he's only pitched like 5 innings on the season. But he's been really consistent and a really good veteran presence in past years for this Tennessee team, especially last season on the national championship run. So he hasn't pitched a lot this season because he's coming off of injury, but he came back to feature at least in an inning against Kentucky in SEC play last week. So pay attention to right-hander A.J. Russell as well. So as far as the pitching staff, again, Liam Doyle has been dominant. I mean, leads the nation in strikeouts. He's been great. Marcus Phillips has added, some really good stuff, a really good 1-2 punch, along with Tegan Coons as well. And then out of the bullpen, definitely pay attention to right-hander Nate Snead. I mean, Nate Snead is the best arm by far, reaching triple digits. It's something you don't see a lot in college baseball. You don't see a ton of guys reaching triple digits, but he can get up there with the best of them. And Nate Snead, I mean, I talked about it with you earlier, Christian. 34 2/3 innings at this point in the season for a relief arm is a lot of innings. Like, it's a good amount of innings. So Nate Snead is a guy you will probably see multiple times this weekend come in the game for Tennessee. So pay attention to him for sure. Moving to the offensive side of the ball, it's very similar to kind of how it was last season in a way. It's a power offense. I mean, this Tennessee team is second in the country they're second in the country with 97 home runs this season as a team. So they're a power offense, just like they were in the national championship season last year, with second in the country with 97 home runs as a team. Gavin Klein has a .404 average with 5 doubles, 3 triples, 11 bombs, and 27 RBIs. Gavin Klein also has a really, really high .848 slugging percentage and a .512 on base percentage. Klein does have fewer at-bats, than other hitters, because he had like a minor injury that he was dealing with a couple weeks ago that I believe he had to miss a couple games of. So he has less at-bats with that .404 average, but Gavin Klein is definitely a guy you really want to pay attention to. After Klein, Dean Curley has a .309 average with 4 doubles, a triple, 11 homers, and 34 RBIs. Both Dean Curley had 3 hits, including a homer last weekend against Kentucky, so he's coming off a pretty solid weekend, is Dean Curley, with 3 hits and a homer against Kentucky. Both Gavin Klein and Dean Curley are actually top 30 prospects in the upcoming 2025 MLB draft, so I'd say, definitely pay attention to Klein and Curley. Those are the 2 guys you definitely want to pay attention to at the plate, along with other guys, because, again, 97 homers, second in the country. This team has been a powerful offense. They've been really good this season. Another guy, veteran, to pay attention to also is Hunter Ensley. Hunter Ensley has a .338 average with 12 doubles, 7 bombs, and he leads the team, does Ensley, with 45 RBIs to lead the team. Ensley last weekend had 3 hits along with 3 RBIs, and those 3 hits also included 1 bomb last weekend against Kentucky. So Hunter Ensley is a veteran presence to pay attention to as well. Dalton Bargo has a .308 average with 8 doubles, 1 triple, 11 bombs, and 28 RBIs for Dalton Bargo. Reese Chapman has a .311 average with 8 doubles, 2 triples, 10 homers, and 40 RBIs. And then Andrew Fisher has been really good as well. Andrew Fisher has a .297 average with 7 doubles, 40 RBIs. And Andrew Fisher leads the team with 15 home runs on the season. So pay attention to, I definitely say, the top 3 guys to really pay attention to. You want to pay attention to all these guys because obviously, 97 home runs is 97 home runs, but pay attention to Gavin Klein and Dean Curley for sure, and also the veteran presence of Hunter Ensley. All those guys are back this season from the national championship season last year, and they've all had really good seasons. And then as far as power, again, pay attention to Andrew Fisher, who actually leads the team in home runs with 15 on the season. So look, on both sides of the ball, this Tennessee team has been excellent. They have a top 5 ERA in a top 5 team ERA in the entire country, with dynamite arms such as Liam Doyle, Marcus Phillips, and Nate Snead, and then they're number 2 in offensive in total home runs with 97 home runs on the season at this point in the year. So on both sides of the ball, this Tennessee team has been really good, and so has this LSU team. This LSU team has same record as this Tennessee team. They still have arms like Cade Anderson and Anthony Ianson. I'm really gonna be intrigued personally. You're gonna see Friday Cade Anderson go up against Liam Doyle. That is a dynamite matchup. A dynamite pitcher's duel. I think that's going to be a low-scoring game. And then don't knock on the second starting pitching matchup on Saturday with Anthony Ianson going up against Marcus Phillips. I mean, that's going to be a pretty good matchup as well. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm really excited for this weekend and what it's going to mean for the city of Baton Rouge. I think, you could see an attendance record this weekend. I mean, I'm not saying you will.
An overall attendance record, not just one for this season, but an overall attendance record.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be it's gonna be a fun one from the box. And honestly, yeah, I mean, just matchup wise, the only thing a few things concern me a little bit is Cade Anderson's been really good this season, but we saw him in his last start give up 4 home runs to Alabama, and now his next start is going to be against the team who is second in the entire country in home runs.
Yeah.
So that's the thing I want to pay attention to.
Just about to say that.
I mean, Cade Anderson has been really good this season, but we said it in the last episode recapping the Alabama series. When Cade Anderson has struggled, it's usually been because he's been bitten a little bit by the long ball, and he's facing a power long ball hitting team in Tennessee this weekend.
I think, like you said, Cade's kryptonite is definitely the long ball. I think it's every so often he gives up that solo home run that just kind of puts a little nail in the coffin for that game. LSU always seems to fight back on Friday nights especially, but they might put themselves in a hole on Friday, and the pitching might have to wake up when Liam Doyle exits the game, because so far this year, I mean, LSU has gotten off to hot starts and slow starts. If LSU comes out slow on Friday, you could see them drop game one either pretty significantly or slowly, because, look, I mean, this Cade Anderson solo home run thing, it's a real issue, and you come up against first overall in home runs, especially in the SEC, I mean, that's a problem. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, look, it's going to be a challenging weekend. I mean, all 3 games are going to be, really, really close, hopefully. If not LSU, surprisingly jumping on Tennessee or anything like that. I think it's going to be a very extremely competitive series. That's what I think it's going to be. I think the big thing is arms like Liam Doyle and Nate Snead. LSU hasn't seen a ton of that this season, a ton of triple-digit stuff. I'm interested in seeing how they handle guys who throw heat like that. Now, I will say, with the amount of guys on this LSU pitching staff that throw above 95, maybe they're a little bit better prepared for that. Coming into this weekend, I'm interested in seeing that. I mean, obviously, you're gonna see more heat on the mound from Tennessee this weekend than you have probably any other weekend thus far in the season. I mean, you just are. And then again, can LSU minimize the long ball this weekend as far as Tennessee being able to hit the long ball and hit it out of the park? Because if Cade Anderson allows another 2 or 3 home runs, and then, you have that, I mean, that's a recipe for disaster for LSU. I mean, I'm excited for this weekend. I'm excited to see what's gonna pan out, what's gonna happen. I'll go ahead and give my prediction, Christian.
Yeah.
And then you can give yours. I have picked LSU. I think I've picked LSU in every series thus far this season. And this is the first
Respectfully
series.
so, they've only dropped 2.
Yeah, this is the first series. I'm going to say I don't think we're going to see a sweep this weekend by either team.
Okay.
I'm going to say, judging by the fact that I think starting with the Auburn series, the offense has been, they had that really good game that Friday against Alabama, but besides that, the offense hasn't been excellent. They're still trying to find certain things, and then I think with Tennessee coming off a surprising, series loss to Kentucky, I think they're kind of due. So I'm gonna say Tennessee's gonna win 2 out of 3 this weekend. I think Tennessee is gonna win Friday, and I think they're gonna win Sunday. So I think they'll win the first game and the third game this weekend. LSU will win Saturday, but I'm picking Tennessee to win the series just because, besides that Friday game against Alabama where they put up 11 runs, LSU hasn't been, the offensive production has been kind of down lately. And I think that could potentially continue with with the arms Tennessee has on the mound this weekend. So I'm going to pick Tennessee to win 2 out of 3, win game 1, LSU wins game 2, and then Tennessee wins the series by winning game 3 on Sunday. How about you, Christian?
Right now I'm very split on who's going to win, like the overall series. I think for sure LSU drops game 3. I think the home field advantage might propel you to a series win, but I think game 3, I have so much discomfort around the pitching staff that day. Alabama beat them. Auburn beat them. So I have a lot of discomfort around that third game of the series, especially with the Chase Shores and who was it? Connor Ware.
Yeah, I mean the Sunday guy for LSU is kind of a situation.
It's up
right
in the
now.
air. If they can win Friday, I think they win Saturday. But my issue with Friday is the Cade Anderson solo home runs. And I'm not knocking on Cade for that. It's just when he misplaces his pitches, because he's so good at placing pitches, but because his velo isn't that high, when he misplaces a pitch, it's pretty detrimental. But I think I'm going to pick LSU this weekend. I think I'm going to go. They win Saturday and Friday. I really like the matchup for LSU on Saturday. I think Anthony Ianson is hot. I think he's one of LSU's best pitchers. I think he might be better than Cade, honestly. If you threw Ianson in that Friday role with that electricity, I really could see better results from him. So I really like Anthony Ianson. I also like Cade. I like Zach Cowan coming in to back up Cade on Friday, too, anchoring that Friday performance. This could also be a weekend where the bats get hot. Like Jared Jones, where you at? Where you at, my boy? Like, bro, we could use you right now. Derek Curiel, he's been hot. Chris Stanfield, maybe another good weekend for him. Maybe an Ethan Fry bomb this weekend, maybe 2. Jake Brown hit a bomb on Tuesday. So I think the bats might get hot this weekend. If they do, they're going to win Friday and Saturday. I don't see them winning Sunday, but yeah, LSU Friday, Saturday, Tennessee Sunday.
And I hope you're right, obviously. Like, I hope you're right, and I hope I'm wrong. If I walk in here on Monday for our Tennessee recap, and
one more point. The home field advantage right now at Alec Box, it's serious. Like, the energy on those Friday night games, because last week you had a Thursday and a Friday night game, but Friday night was your better game out of, like, energy-wise and population and the game-wise. Attendance. Yeah, I think LSU has a real chance to win the Friday game. And if they do, I think they win the Saturday game.
I think they win the Saturday game because of the point you made. I really like how Anthony Ianson has been playing lately. Yeah. I really do. I feel like it's going to be an adjustment on Friday with Liam Doyle. Like, I feel like that's an arm that LSU hasn't seen a lot this season.
Yeah. And
an arm that the past 2 outings has gone 8 innings with 14 Ks against Ole Miss, and then 7 innings with, 9 Ks against Kentucky. I mean, that's a guy who, I think you said it earlier. The key is like, when does Liam Doyle come out of the game?
Yeah. Like,
that's what I'll be paying attention to. How long does he go? If Liam Doyle goes 7 innings, I don't know if you, I just don't. Yeah. With how the offensive production has been lately, I'm not saying they won't be good this weekend. I'm saying the arms, especially with Liam Doyle, Marcus Phillips, and Nate Snead, are arms that LSU, is going to be challenged by. And, I just have a feeling this weekend that it's going to be a learning experience and it's going to be a real challenge for LSU. And I just think, kind of based on what I've seen the past 2 weeks, I just think Tennessee's gonna. It's gonna be a hard fought series. It's gonna be a competitive series, but I think Tennessee's gonna win Friday and then win Sunday as well.
And dude, look, I'm gonna point this out to you. The last 2 starts this dude's had at his home were very good, right? When he comes in the box, I'm telling you, it's a different animal. I really think LSU can get this guy out probably in the 5th inning. 6th inning, and if you do, that's a win. Like, that's a win. That is a huge win. Burn their arm. Burn Nate Snead early. Like, if LSU can get this guy out early, which they can, Friday night in Alec Box, like, dude, it's gonna be packed. They're gonna break the season attendance record on Friday. They might break the overall record. I don't know what it is, but I think in the Super Regional against Kentucky, it was set. Bro, I think they can beat that. Like, I really think if people show up, I think this attendance record could get absolutely shattered.
Yeah, I think It could, absolutely. I mean, like I said, this is a huge series this weekend. The thing I'll be paying attention to on Friday, two things on Friday. Cade Anderson with the long ball, and then how many long balls does he allow, if any? And then what time does Liam Toyle, how many innings does he go?
And does LSU get hot? If you see an early Jared Jones base hit or rip up the middle, a double in the gap, like those little signs in the first couple innings, I'm telling you, I think that could be crucial for this series and how this series goes. Because, I mean, if Jared Jones finds that spark, which it kind of feels like he could very soon, he might be rounding that corner. If he finds it this weekend, like, LSU's in a very good spot for the rest of the year. Milam, too. Like, if these dudes come alive this week, like, it's going to be scary for Tennessee.
Yeah. But, no, I mean, I'm excited about this weekend. I am pumped. I'm going to be in the box. Gonna plan to be there for all three games, hopefully Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Really pumped for this weekend. I'm excited to see two great teams go at it, but I'm also excited the box is gonna be rocking. Like, it's gonna be crazy this weekend. It's gonna be a really good one. It all starts on Friday night, April 25th. First pitch is at 6:30 on Friday, 7 on Saturday, and then 2 o'clock to close out the series on Sunday, April 27th. So, really excited to bring this preview to you guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you enjoy. Put your predictions for this huge series in the comments. Like, put what you think is coming into this weekend. What do you think the Tigers are going to do?
Do you agree with me and Justin? Do you not agree with me and Justin? Do you think LSU sweeps? Do you think Tennessee sweeps? Because honestly, I can see a world where one team sweeps.
Yeah,
like genuinely, I can see like where LSU gets a job done all 3 days. If the bats wake up on Friday, early on Friday, they're going to sweep. I'm telling you, if the bats get hot on Friday, they're going to sweep this team. I'm telling you. But if they don't, it might be a 2 out of 3 either way. So,
All right. Well, we thank you guys for tuning in. Again, like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed this one. Hope you enjoy your weekend. Hopefully, if you have tickets, I know this is probably a hard ticket to get to at this moment with all the people that want in. Hope you enjoy your weekend. We hope you have a good one.